No one taught me how to make money, spend money, and save money. Hello, hi. You're welcome to my channel. I'm excited to be here. I got a new pillow. Something just cute, very girly like me, if you know. So I just wanted to put her on my lap. And because I'm wearing a short, like she's petite. Welcome to my channel, a place where I feel free to share my trauma, feel the pain, share insight, reflect, try to heal, and above all, we'll learn something from it. Today, I'm going to be talking about money. Owo, kudi, ego. These are the names of money in different languages here in Nigeria. No one taught me how to make money, spend money, and save money. For someone who didn't have any of this training, here are the few things I have learned. And I feel like it is right for me to just come here and share because there are some people who actually are like me and majorly finding it very difficult to navigate their way financially because the money I was earning was chicken change. I won't even lie to you. I was earning so little but living so large. I was living above my means. And it was the men that came into my life that exposed me to this level of life. My income is different from the money they give to me. My income was absolutely nothing compared to the money they give to me. And the money they gave to me was not the type of money that I could receive for a lifetime. I don't know if you get my point. It is not a money that, oh, I'll keep receiving for a lifetime. No, it was a money that it comes, it vanishes that moment. And whenever it comes, if you don't use it for anything good, you can't tell what exactly. I can't tell you the actual thing a man gave me that I bought with his money. Honestly, I can't tell you. And when all of this happened, I'm like, okay, it is time for me to start living because it got to a point I could not pay my rent. I'm telling you, I could not pay my damn rent. And it was it was shocking. I had to live off my sister. And I said to myself, it was time to start earning better. And this was when I went full force. And guess what? I also lost my job. I was at home here in my room. I would cry. I would ask God, God, is this the life you want me to live? Is this the plan you have for me? Like I kept asking myself questions. And this was when I heard from the Holy Spirit that I need to change whatever I was doing. And then this was when I lost the job. They had to let me go. And I started doing content creation full time. I think content creation has opened opportunities for me that the money now I could pay my rent. My sister moved out. Mind you, my sister and I was splitting the bill, right? I was not, I couldn't pay the rent alone. My sister was also helping with it. Now my sister moved out. I am solely paying the rent. Now you can imagine how much I have improved as a person. I want you to know that in all of this, I did not stop there. I had multiple talents when it comes to me. I always look for avenues to make money in the sense that there are a lot of things I have done. I have done part-time jobs such as being an English teacher for Chinese kids, foreign kids, all of that. I have also done a lot of things. And I think the money I got from teaching international kids, if you heard my story, I went to an international school and I taught foreign kids for a while. And the money I got from teaching them was what I used to pay for my first apartment. And I had a boyfriend at the time. He assisted me in getting some furnitures, but like mainly for my apartment, I paid fully for that apartment. And I remember that was my first big girl apartment. I left home and God was just so good, right? I paid for that. I also could not sustain myself paying that rent because the job I was getting at the time or the job I had at the time could not pay my rent. And that is nothing but the truth. So all of this happened. Guess what? The men in my life helped me. That is why, as much as I think as a young woman, you should still be very careful about men. I still think to a good amount, God has sent men into our lives to help us and carry a lot of burdens. I don't know if you get my point. The men, also as a pretty girl, pretty privilege, all of that thing. As a girl, I think the men in my life helped me. I wouldn't be here today without appreciating some of the men or the women, not just men, women, basically people God put in my life to help me. Now, when after doing all of this, I want you to know that I had multiple jobs. I solely never relied on a man. I was still having my job. I was still doing jobs. I used to do ushering From ushering, I moved into events. This was where I started bringing my own ushers to event, and I started managing events, coordinating, and people call me to come for jobs, and I make money out of it. Now, because of this side also, I made so much money from this particular side also. I've always had side hustles in my life. I've always, because of creativity, when it comes to content creation, video editing, I always had side hustles. When all of this happened, I fully went into content creation. I went into content creation, and content creation changed my life. I am going to be very honest with you. I've always wanted to be an influencer. I've always admired influencers from the US, from France, all of that, like from YouTube, all of that. Like, majority of the people who inspire me today were from YouTube. The influencers that I see today were from YouTube. And I looked at them, I'm like, I want to start being like this. I want to start earning like this. And that was how I was able to build myself. Now let me show you how I Maris, and the things I plan to do, and the finances I have started earning in the last few years. Now I want you to understand that the money that comes in to this very day, I do not live my life lavishly. And I think a lot of the time people get it wrong, that because you start earning a good amount of money, you feel like it is automatically your chance to start living life lavishly. That is wrong. I think that is the first way for you to die, for you to kill yourself financially. I never changed my lifestyle. I never changed the way I used to live. I never started eating, going to restaurants every day, or buying new clothes every day. Like, before I would spend money on something, I would have to think about it, go through it, mentally ask myself, Maris, is this something you need? And if you need this, what are you doing it for? What are you using it for? Is it bringing more income to you? Does it help you in your creativity? These are questions I ask myself before I buy anything. Like, if I'm buying this top today, I bought this top, I remember, I think it was from a brand, and I paid for this top myself. It wasn't even a collaboration. I paid for it. And I remember looking at the brand, asked myself, okay, this top, how can I style this top in multiple ways? I can show you different times I've wore this top and I've created content with it. Why? This is an investment to me. I wear it, I look good, I create content that would fetch me more money. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. This laptop is an investment. Once I'm done creating my content, I come here, I edit faster instead of me editing on my phone. It makes me effective. It makes me put in more work and execute great results. These are the steps I talk about. That if you want to spend money, you have to actually ask yourself tons of questions. What is the ROI? What is the return of investment on this particular thing I am buying? And that is how I say it. And honestly, instead of me spending money on a particular thing, I would ask myself, how can I get this for free in exchange to collaborate with the brand? Because I am a content creator, I have to show up good, I have to show up looking clean, looking good, all of that. To be honest, your savings will not save you. I used to hear words like this, and I would always ask myself, why do they say words like this? Financial content creators, whenever I hear them say your savings will not save you, I used to always wonder why they say words like that. But the truth is, your savings will not save you. And this is because your money has no value in 2 years' time, in 3 years' time. As time goes on, inflation increases, meaning the rate at which you buy a particular product in the next 3 years, it increases. That amount has no value. Your money has no value. Learn how to put your money in things that would bring back money. I used to be scared of spending money. Now I am not scared of spending money. But before I spend money, I ask myself, will this thing I am spending money bring back more things in return? And this is where people talk about investment. Investment is not only just putting your money in an investment plan or sector or a place where you put your money, oh, it grows in the net. There are different ways you invest. You look at yourself, even in your looks. If I put money on myself, will this look that I am trying to achieve, will it yield me more money? And in some people, yes, you will go to events. Like me as a content creator, if I put money in my look, spend money for my hair, my clothes, my outfits, my nails, I look good. Will it make more brands want to work with me? Would it make more brands want to look at me and look at, oh my God, I want to work with her. I love the way she dressed. Yes, it will, but not in every case. You can't be a skincare creator and worry about fashion because that is not your sector. You need to start worrying about skincare products. Look for new skincare products you need to try out so that the brand notices you and maybe work with you in the future. This is how we content creators think about investments in different ways. Now, the next part is before you buy things, you think twice. There was one time the money I was making from content creation, I wanted to put it into a brand and open a business because I wanted to have a brand. I love tank tops a lot. I love whatever shows my body, but like it's a tank top and grabs the girls well. That was my goal. And I created something. But I realized that the money I had at the time could not sustain it. You know, the goals I had, the plans I had could not sustain the business I wanted to create. Guess what I did? The money that had gone into, the mini production went it was for a waste, but I had to sit down and ask myself and re-strategize. The goal I have for this, is it feasible within this time frame with it? And I had to come clean and say no. Instead of me just taking the money and pouring it, and at the end of the day I give up, there's no point. Let me pause now, and when I get to a financial point in my life where I feel okay, I am ready to take up stuff like this, I will take it again. Not everybody actually has to have a business, and that is true. Not everybody, see, you can have a skill, make money from your skill. And one thing about me is I love to give service in return. I get paid, meaning I don't like buying and selling. I don't like goods and exchange. I don't like that. That is not actually my calling. But what I love to do is service in return for exchange. Service in return for exchange. Let me work, let me create something. My creativity takes role, my creativity takes part, and I get paid for it. And that is why I'm a content creator. Find what works for you. Not everybody has to be an entrepreneur. You don't actually have to be an entrepreneur. The next on my list is learn everything about money. Learn how to save it, learn how to invest, learn. I know money makes all of us uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable too. To this very point, I don't want to think about the money I'm going to spend. But guess what? I love to talk about money. Whenever it's, well, okay, I'm spending, no, I am thinking about money. Whenever I want to give my charge when it comes to content creation, I am not scared. I am always looking for the best bargain, even though sometimes people can get tired of like how much I bargain. I know my value. I know, okay, I want to get this amount of money. I should be able to get it, even though I'm not able, if even though I'm not going to get 100%, let me get at least 70 out of it. Let me get at least 80 out of it. And this is how I say it. So that once I get the money, I think about, okay, how would I execute it? Where would I put it to? And once that money come, I split it. Like I said, I do not live like the money I earn. I lived like the money I was earning years back. Even though as time goes on, it changes, I increase it over time, but I make the increase when I know more is coming in. Now I'm going to end with this. If you are somebody who isn't that great to school, not every girl is good at math, not every girl likes to talk about money. If you're that person who doesn't like to talk about money or you don't know how to do math, honestly, take your time, start doing the math like the things you love doing. If you love eating shawarma, start doing math like shawarma. Start doing it like the things you love doing. If you love doing your nails, start making math like the way you do. But I want you to take it slow. The only thing that will stop you from being better, being the best version of yourself, or making the amount of money you want to make is you. You need to start making plans, even though it takes time. It is better you start than not doing anything at all. And I think a lot of the time, that is why our parents' generation, some of them were poor to this very point. And then you notice that people who used to have money, who had good jobs at the time, over time, no good job, no money, everything just diminishes. This is because nobody taught them the right things to do, the right way to live, and how to go about this. I really hope this really helps you because one thing about me is, as much as I do love to share my life, my traumas, and want every other thing, I will still put you on. I will still tell you what is good and how to go about it. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to see you next time. Ciao.